Welcome back to another hour of Scotch Hour. I'm Noah.
And I'm Jesse.
All right, this evening our lineup is the Oban 12yr 2025 special release, The Heart of the Harbor. Then we got our shout-outs and get-togethers, followed by our restaurant review being the Griffin Tavern. And then our Smarter Challenge being Peacemaker Season 2. Real quickly, thank you to all the viewers on YouTube and Rumble and all the many listeners that listen to us on the different podcast platforms. We appreciate all of you. Please like, share, subscribe, and leave some comments down below. Let us know how or what or whatever about what you think of the Oban 12yr special release. We'd love to hear your opinions about that, as well as your opinions about Peacemaker Season 1 or even Season 2 or the whole thing. But tonight's episode is on Season 2. We might sprinkle a little bit of Season 1 in there, but it should be a fun discussion nonetheless, and we'd love to hear from you about that as well.
Scotch review.
All right. Well, as mentioned, this week's Scotch, Oban, Heart of the Harbor. Man, the 2025 limited special release from Diageo is sure to be a treat. Bottled at 54.7 ABV, aged in ex-bourbon American oak casks. And of course, that age is 12 years. You can't miss that. But this is soon to be a delicious treat. The Oban Distillery, of course, is located, and this is where it gets tricky because it's so close, like you can see the sea, but it's actually technically a Highland distillery. And it was founded in 1794 by John and Hugh Stevenson. They do have one wash still, one spirit still, average, and have a maximum output of 670,000 liters per year. And their water source is the Two Lochs in Adrachnel. So pretty interesting. They are most known for their 14-year-old malt, which is marketed as part of Diageo's classic malt selection range, originally launched in 1988. Also, there's the Distiller's Edition bottling, which is finished in a Mantilla Fino sherry cask before the bottling. Also an 18, and you might get your hands on one of the 6,000 bottles they had of the rare 32-year-old. One of my favorites, though, is the Little Bay, again known for their 14, 18, 21, 32, and besides the special releases, the Little Bay, great briny flavors throughout. As it was established in 1794 by the brothers John and Hugh Stevenson, they operated it until 1866, them and their Stevenson family. 1866, when it was bought by Peter Kernstey. It was then acquired by Walter Higgin in 1883 and rebuilt in 1898. Alexander Edward, who also owned Altmore Distillery, bought out Higgin in his first year of operation. It suffered major losses when a major blending company, Patterson's of Leith, went under. In 1923, Oban was sold to Dewar's and joined Distillers Company with that company in 1925. It fell silent from 31 to 37. Wars have a tendency to do that to distilleries. And again, from 69 to 72, when a new still house was built. In 1989, a new visitors center was installed. This is one of our more favorite scotches, again known for that briny, beautiful, full flavor, and usually some intriguing citrus. Have they got any tours going on now in that newer tour center that they built?
Yeah, they have 2 tours going on right now. They're open from starting in November, so we're only like a couple days away. So I'm not going to talk about October. So starting in November through March, they're open Monday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. When it comes to these tours, no children under the age of 8. So they have their classic tour. It's 1 hour long. You get to try 3 drams. It's 24 Great British pounds. And the host will share some insights into their history and process throughout their basic tour or classic tour. Then they got the exclusive tour and tasting. It's 1.5 hours long, 75 Great British pounds. This is an in-depth tour of the distillery, and you get to peek into their warehouse. You do get to try 1 unique dram, 1 limited edition dram, and 1 special release dram. All that's been carefully curated for a educational tasting for those who are on that tour. They do have like 3 different types of tastings that you can attend. But since we're just focusing on the tours, we'll just leave it those 2 at the moment.
All right. Well, Oban does have a nice little literature on the back of the canister here. Heart of the Harbor, journey beyond convention to explore sweeter depths of signature taste. The comfort of home draws you back like a warm welcome after a long journey. Like the Highland Gull, and man, that's the bird on the canister. Like the Highland Gull that flies far but always returns, this is the taste of coming home. Maturation in ex-bourbon casks makes for an expression that is deeply warm, sweet, and rich in character. Discover delicious notes of sweet home baking and salty sea air. The American oak enriches a fresh, fruity house style with the taste of tinned, syrupy peaches and warm spices. Honeyed flavor notes marry with signature maritime character for a taste that brings the heart and soul of a harbor we call home. Well, without further ado, let's open up this canister once again. Thank you, Diageo. Thank you, Oban. Nice, thick cardboard safety travel for a pricey bottle of Scotch. Very traditional for Oban's special releases, as is the bottle for Oban in general. The foil, as always, it does have that seagull, the Highland seagull, encrusted in the top as it's listed the 2025 special release great foil. Always a nice solid wood topper.
Followed by pressed cork, probably.
Followed by pressed cork. I'm excited.
Oh, I'm excited.
What did you do last night? I forget.
I can't be that excited, though. It's not that much. We can finish it.
What day is it?
That would be tomorrow. And then I will ask that question.
Oh,
all right. With that, it's time for our warp speed and tasting notes. So cheers.
Cheers.
All right. This year's special release, 2025. As I get older, these special releases stay the same age. The Oban 12yr special release, 2025. Pleasantly surprised. I really do enjoy it. First off, presentation. I love the front part of the canister. I just wish they kind of kept it all the way around. I don't mind the little blue box, but I get like the backside. I think they made it blue like that just because it makes it easier to read their text that's back there. But honestly, I would have loved to have that beige panoramic view of the bay all the way around, and I think it would have been a lot better that way. But Overall, I do like the presentation. That presentation actually really shines on the bottle itself because it has that same view there on the label with that blue, which is a really nice complementary blue at the very bottom, and it still holds true to the aesthetics that you're used to when it comes open with their wooden top and their foil and stuff like that. So overall, 5 out of 5 on the presentation. The color here, I gave it 5 out of 5 as well, but I put it's a light golden blonde lock from the Hardcourt Brawl. So if you can imagine Hardcourt getting into a brawl there from season 2 of the Peacemaker, this would be like the color of a lock that might have like come loose from her brawling with the random dudes at a bar. Next up, the nose. Here I put fresh green apples and sweet lemon peel open the aroma, followed by festive notes of nutmeg, cinnamon, and clove. Beneath these lie warm hints of honeycomb and buttery biscuits that are gently intertwined with the coastal sea breeze. Which I really love the nose. To me, this was a high point of this Scotch, and I gave the nose 28 out of 30. The palate was a medium body with a mild creaminess that followed with a nice oily coating. The front part of the palate had it introduced like a nice sweetness with notes of pear and vanilla cream and notes of like a little bit of buttery biscuit there, which then transitioned into what I said here, then kicks in. Not transition, but more like then kicks in the white pepper and ginger with notes of sea salt and almond. More like roasted almond rather than just almond, but yeah. So that was it was a pretty nice palette. Although like I usually like more well balanced palettes or body. There, but because that white pepper really does kick in, even though it does kick in like that, the flavor profile I did enjoy, so I still gave it 27 points, and it has mild out over time. Like when you first open it up, that first pour out of the neck or whatever, it's pretty tight and spicy, but it does start to mild out a little bit as it's been open here for approximately 40 minutes now. The finish here I put it's dry and it's a dry and lingering sea breeze with minerality and bitter lemongrass notes that fade into a sweet honey vanilla with pepper spice, and I enjoyed that as well. The palate and the finish I liked equally. So I gave both of those 27 points out of 30. So I gave it a grand total of 92 points. Would I take it to a black tie affair? I think it's worthy. So I would. Would I take it to game night? Depends on what kind of game night it is, but most general, I would say yes, it's worthy. Place on the shelf, yes, most definitely. I think it earns that spot.
All right. Well, same score, different order, as is usually the case. So starting off with presentation, I, again, will comment. Thank you, Oban. Thank you, Diageo, for continuing to use a quality canister and have some artistic influence upon your labels. I love this one. It's another one of the many Diageo labels, more so than the canister, where I would probably buy and put up a poster of this. Definitely a print if you could get one that was signed by the artist, maybe numbered, limited edition type of stuff. So presentation 5 out of 5. Color. This is one of the, this is literally yellow. This is Highlands Golden Shower. So 5 out of 5 with color, though. It is great. It is vibrant, and it definitely looks like a golden shower. Then on the nose. So the nose for me gets a 27. Right off the bat, it's a maritime throughout this whole Scotch. There is salted lemon, a little bit of orange zest, and then it goes a bit sweet with some caramel and some vanilla cream or vanilla custard. Then nutmeg and like a honeyed nutmeg and honey. So on the nose, 27. 28 is the palate. It is the high point for me. And as this palate kicks in, I'm going to relive it one more time. I actually love this palate. At the front, white pepper and oak spice, followed by some vanilla, some sea salt vanilla. That, again, this brine and salt is throughout. Orange jam or marmalade, some lemon zest. The lemon zest is significant. If you've ever taken a slice of lemon with some salt on it, that's one piece of the nose and the front of the palate. But the lemon zest kicks in the middle of this palate. Then it goes sweet again, kind of like with the nose. I get some salted peaches. More white pepper. Lots of pepper throughout. Cinnamon and nutmeg. On the finish, again, back down to a 27. It is layers of oaky, earthy, barley, citrus zest, lemon brine, a little creamy vanilla toffee, some oak spice, and a little more pepper. And I'm digging it. But the palate for sure was the high point. Overall, 92 black tie. Yes. Game night. Yes. And again, this is one of those ones where there's actually, when I said oak spice, like I want to really emphasize the oak in here to me. It is tied to that spice, but it is profound, and I love it. It reminds me of the very oaky, aged Old Vine Zinfandel. The oak you get from there is the oak I get from this. So some great spice from that oak. Game night, yes, and it definitely has a spot on the shelf. I think you saw it leaning on this probably. Fuck it. I need to stop drinking. Shit's leaning.
Real quickly, when you said the color, did you say it was a golden shower?
This is Highland Golden Shower. Highland's Golden Shower, man. Look at that. Am I wrong? Looks like somebody drank 12 energy drinks and then pissed off a balcony.
All right, so you're talking about golden shower like a piss. Okay.
It is yellow. It's not like whiskey. It's not like oaky. It is literally.
I'm just making sure I was understanding the.
Dude, it's literally yellow.
I just trying to make sure I was understanding the whole like golden shower phrase because that is a fetish of some people.
Hey, I'm just saying. We've all seen the American Pie series, right?
Hey, man. Cheers to squirters, I guess.
Again, I'm going to say off a balcony.
All right, I guess on to our shout-outs to get together. You got any?
My Get It Together goes to the FIA for their virtual safety car at the end of the Mexican Grand Prix. Who knows if it would have actually changed anything. But what it definitely did was take Max Verstappen's chance to give Leclerc a real good battle and possibly get 3 extra points. 3 very essential extra points. And the FIA did this. Now, if you watch the race, at the beginning of the race, there's chaos going. Marshall's on track, and they don't do anything. They put out a yellow flag. No virtual safety car, no actual safety car. And then at the end of the race, there's no chaos. Sainz has an issue, and he pulls his car off the track in the slowest part of the track, puts it behind a barrier, and they call out a virtual safety car. It literally ended the race poorly.
Questionable at best.
Yes. So that's definitely my Get It Together. My shout out, I'm going to give 2 shout outs for their first home game, the Denver Nuggets, besting their opponents by 20 points. And then most recently, as the Broncos have done some interesting and amazing things, also besting their opponents by 22 points.
All right, get-togethers. There's a plethora that I could give out for politics world, but I'm going to leave them alone. I do have one shout out. I'm giving it to you, Jesse.
Oh, shit.
I know I have been less than stellar at this part of my life, but you've been really great as of late. So it's a bit of an inspiration. I know I've had a cold and I've kind of like kept myself from going to the gym, but you've been going there multiple times a day, and you're looking really great. So you're an inspiration. So thanks a lot. I appreciate it, and my shout out goes to you for that. So keep up the great work, man.
Thank you.
Like, I know it's not like it's something like you say at the very end of every show. It's not always easy, right? But it's worth it.
Oh yeah.
And I know you don't say it exactly like that, but that's basically what it is, right? It's not easy. Like going to the gym, like, yeah, I mean, you can make a decision to go do other things, and it's a lot easier to do other things. But you made that commitment to yourself, and you've been keeping up with it. So I think it's awesome that you made that commitment and you stuck with it so far. And you know, it is. I think it's awesome. So
thank you. This week's restaurant review, Noah picked a sweet surprise out of the restaurant hat, and I was stoked at the end of this adventure. This week's restaurant review, the Griffin Tavern. So this is just a couple blocks east of Bellevue and I-25. You want to kick it off?
I have you kick it off because I totally forgot to prep for this.
All right, so I'm going to kick this off with the outside and the parking lot are very common for what I would say is a business techie area where it's not the most convenient. They don't give it a lot of artistic space, but the parking lot is functional. The outside of the building is minor in comparison to everything else about this place. So ultimately, I gave the exterior a 6. Now, here's where it continues to get interesting. This is one of those buildings that's built upon and within other buildings, kind of meant to be, in addition to a apartment complex, a condo building, or a business office suite. And the inside is angular. It's not large, but I dug it. I actually really enjoyed it. It wasn't too noisy. They had good coverage of different sports and screens throughout. I think that's part of something you can really gain from having a room that's somewhat of a triangle base shape. And the seating was good. They had high tops, they had low tops. Clearly you could reserve a table because the biggest table had been reserved by a family or a group. Ultimately, I gave the interior an 8, and one of the reasons for that also is they did a nice job doing a little decor work with some Halloween skeletons and stuff throughout. The food, this is where the real win was. So I started with their black and blue burger. They let you pick the temperature you want it cooked to. I definitely am a medium rare guy, and they got it perfect. Now, beyond that, not only was it cooked perfectly temperature-wise, had just the right amount of pepper, just the right amount of blue cheese. I am a blue cheese fan, so the more the merrier in many cases. The bun was fantastic. The sauce was fantastic. The black and blue burger, I could not ask more. So another nice addition is they had Launchpad Brewery's Piggyback IPA on tap. So I did get and enjoy a Piggyback IPA. With that, I asked about desserts. They have 0 desserts on their menu, but I got something better. I had their truffle parmesan fries ultimately as my dessert after my burger. Fair-sized burger, good. I just wanted something a little bit more. And these parmesan truffle oil fries are the best I've had in Colorado. By far the best I've had in Colorado, to the point where I'm willing to go back to this place just for some of those and a beer. It's become my new destination for that and a beer. So the food, and this is not a common score, but the food absolutely gets a 10. It was perfect for me. The service gets a 9. couple different gentlemen were serving us that evening. They did a very nice job being attentive. I felt at one point I may have waited a minute longer than I wanted to when I was trying to order my truffle oil fries, but it was worth it. So service a 9. Value, the beers aren't necessarily cheap. None of the food's necessarily cheap. I wanted to try the nachos, but it looked like by the time you add your protein and everything else to the nachos, it was going to be $40. So I stuck with the burger, still spent over $40. Value still, because of the food and how great it was a 7. Overall, my score is an 8. Would I meet a friend there? Absolutely yes. Would I take a date there? As long as no one's got a hankering for some sweets, absolutely yes. Is it a destination right now? I would say for a good craft burger within 15 minutes of home and some fantastic fries and a decent draft list, for me, actually, it is a destination right now. That'll change if something goes downhill. I will, and I absolutely plan on revisiting this place within the next week or two. I want more of those fries.
All right. So, real quickly outside, I gave it a 5. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think you described it well enough, and you were the one driving. So, but I guess I'm a little bit more harsher on the outside, than you are. They do have a back patio. I would have liked to see that, and that might have given it a higher score. But anyways, the outside gets a 5. Inside, it's small, but they decorated the place, and the way it's designed, it worked, and I loved what they did with it. So I give that 8 points.
Yeah.
The food. I ordered the Griffin signature burger with that had peppercorn bacon, and I gave it I asked for it well done because I'm a weirdo. Like, I love my meat raw to medium rare. Anywhere in that area where it's bloody as hell to so pink on my steaks. But for whatever goofy reason, I like my burgers well done. But the burger had a great flavor, and that peppercorn bacon gave it a nice smoky pepper flavor to it. Super great. Loved it. And then I got the truffle fries, which was cooked to perfection. Loved that as well. I did not give the food a 10 out of 10, but I did give it a 9 out of 10. The value, I'm not really sure what I here. The value, I gave it a 6. Although I really think, I'm not really sure. It could probably go up. Maybe it could go up to a 7. I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna go with the 6 right now. And I think that's because of my service. I probably would have been up there with you on the service. However, what dropped the service down was that the fries that you so much loved and enjoyed was not put on your bill. It was put on my bill.
I forgot about that.
So they would have received a higher score, but I still gave the service a 7. My overall score was a 7 out of 8 because that gives me a 35. Divide that by 5 because math is 7. So, would I take a date there? Yes. Would I meet a friend there? Yes. I definitely want to go back and get those fries again because those fries were so good, and the burger was great too. Is it a destination? I'm going to say for its distance and for the burger and fry quality, it is definitely a destination spot to get a good burger with great fries. And I am curious to try some of their other dishes that they have there.
And I forgot to mention with my dish, I should have gotten the truffle fries because then I probably wouldn't have ordered the side of truffle fries. But I had their sweet potato waffle fries, and they were also remarkable.
Yeah, it's a good place. I highly recommend it.
This week's Smarter Challenge, the Peacemaker TV series, Season 2. So this is a black comedy superhero show starring John Cena as the Peacemaker. And it's very interesting. This is the second season. It came out on August 21st, ran through October 9th of this year, 2025. Besides John Cena, and it was... The showrunner, of course, is James Gunn, but we've got Danielle Brooks, Freddie Stroma as... what is his name? Not the assassin... Vigilante. Dude, the guy is literally hilarious. He's literally hilarious. Jennifer Holland and yes, her own qualities. Steve Agee, Frank Grillo, and man, he plays a good bad guy. He plays the guy you want to hate, or it makes it very easy to hate. And Robert Patrick, man, this guy who played Terminator 2000 all the way back in the day is still kicking some ass here as Peacemaker's father. All right, what angle do you want to go?
All right, well, this pretty much picks up after season 1. Basically, the team is basically disbanded. Only one person still works with was Argus.
Yes,
which happens to be John Economos. Because the black lady, I forget what her name is, but
Leota.
No, her mom.
Oh, Amanda Waller.
Yeah, Amanda Waller. She gets basically busted for what she did with Argus, and she's in jail or whatever. So that's why the team has been disbanded. Harcourt has been basically blackballed from all the different types of government agencies, so she's having a hard time finding a new position, and she's basically a kick-ass super spy agent. You got Vigilante, who's, I don't know, semi-retarded.
I don't know. Definitely socially maladjusted.
Okay. Who thinks Peacemaker or Christopher Smith is his best friend, whereas John Cena, Christopher Smith, Peacemaker, he thinks Leota Abadayo, or I don't know how you say her name, is his best friend.
I think it is Adebayo. I think you're right. Yeah, I think you got it.
Yeah, and then you got Eagly in here, right?
Oh my goodness, Eagly!
So they're all doing their own thing. Like Christopher is like starting off the season where he doesn't have a job. He wants to be a superhero. He wants to be seen as a hero, but and he struggles with like how he's viewed by others, and he's trying to like follow the process of to go and to be a part of like the Justice League and all that stuff. And you can see like people just don't take him serious, and so he's down, and he like his dad's dead, his brother's dead. He keeps killing people when he's trying to do the right thing, and basically ultimately like his life is pretty much shit at the beginning of the show, and he's having like orgies and spending money and stuff like that, and but it's all unfulfilling. He's searching out all these external vices that never fill the hole that's in him. You got Vigilante, who's Vigilante doing Vigilante stuff.
That cracks me up.
Leota, whatever. She's trying to start up her own private eye agency, but where she puts her ad at, she thinks she's doing like she's successful, but it's actually like where guys try to like think it's an escort service. Harcourt's messed up because once again, like I said, she's blackballed, so then she just randomly goes to like bars and picks fights with random dudes.
Rando.
And Harcourt, not Harcourt, but Economos, the one who's still with Argus, is basically tasked to surveil his friends and report on his friends. And you can see he has some internal conflicts of basically being a rat on his friends. So I guess where I want to take this here is, well, from here, basically, we see that John Cena or Peacemaker or Chris Smith, he goes into this multiverse, like, I don't know what you want to call it, multi-door pathway that goes to a bunch of different universes. And he opens up one door, finds that his dad and brother are alive in this other universe, ends up killing the version of him from that universe. And when he goes into that universe, everything that he's heartbroken about and has a hole in his self is there in that universe. And he has like a love for Harcourt that is actually kind of met in this other universe as well. So everything that he like desires for the most part, or thinks that he wants, is in this other universe. And so basically the season revolves around him going to this other universe to fulfill that hole because he killed his other self, because that other self's not there anymore. And then his friends, who basically are able to come together, and they know Christmas worth, go after him saying, hey, we miss you. You belong here with us. We are a family. You might, and I think at this point, when Chris goes to the other universe, he doesn't see that team as a family, even though that they said that they were. His feelings were like they didn't see him as being part of that family. But the gesture was there when they go to capture him from that other universe and bring him back. Now, there's a bunch of shenanigans that happens through all that time, but I think where I want to start is he wrong for wanting to go to that other universe and wanting to stay there?
I imagine we'll eventually get to this point where my favorite episode of season 2 is Ignorance is Chris, for lots of different reasons. But to answer your question, as you go in, if you're ignorant to the pieces that someone is going to be ignorant to, if you're only looking for good, he is absolutely not wrong. He's 100% right to want that other universe, the other door. He is absolutely right to want to go back to a world where he wasn't the one who killed his brother, where he wasn't the one who killed his father, where the woman that he has confessed that he loves also loves him, and that he's a crime fighter with his father, with his brother, and she's kind of a badass still too, just in a little bit different way. She's not out starting fights in bars just to know she's alive. Like,
she's a lot more put together in this other universe too. And when I say put together, I mean like
psychologically sound.
Yeah, and like she looks more business appropriate.
All of that true. I'll tell you. This is definitely one of my issues. I'd still take Earth's Holland than that one. But what I will say is,
both versions have their perks.
Right. What I will say is, no, he is not wrong to want to go to a universe where he's loved, appreciated by his father, by his brother, and by a woman, where he doesn't have that here. I
think superficially it's not wrong. I think you have to, like, and here's the thing, like, if that's all you're focusing on is, like, I miss my brother because I ended up killing him as a kid. I miss my father because of, he was a bad guy in the world that we live in. And then I like the girl that I, like the woman I proclaim my love to, basically, like, shuts the door on me every single time. She kind of did, pretty much.
Countless times.
Yeah.
Literally.
And you feel like you're, like, basically less than zero when you go to this other universe where, like, the public loves you. You're seen as a hero. It would be very easy to overlook the negatives of that world because the things that you're trying to fill internally are met in this new world. And ultimately, is it right or wrong? I don't know, because there's a part of me that says he's absolutely right for wanting to do that. But then part of me says, like, it's totally wrong for him to do that because there's repercussions that will be caused, or ripple effects that will be caused because of it. And we don't know what those ripple effects are, right? That's how that whole butterfly effect thing goes.
Let's take it one step further, though.
Okay.
This is why I also think it's okay. It's because here on Earth, he has people coming after him with a vengeance that want to end him. And this is the other reason where I'm with you. Like, stay true to your true friends. Don't go running off to some fake bliss.
Well, I'm not saying not to do it. I'm just saying,
there's another side. I know, but here on Earth, he has people coming after him that literally want to end him, to make him disappear. And he has two options now: be on the run, or choose to not have to run. That's how he sees it. It turns out a little bit different, right? But or not have to run. And that's the other reason, where it's not just about fulfilling one piece of, I want to be the hero, I want to feel great, I want a family. It's the other piece of, hey, this is survival. Like, at this point, it's not just about feeling great. It's, I need to get away from Earth to survive.
well, and if you really look at, like, if you look at his brother when he was a kid, the way his brother died was based off of survival. He didn't mean to kill his brother,
right,
but because his dad made him and his brother fight, and in order for him to defend himself, he did whatever he did and caused his brother to die. Same thing happened between him and his dad. His dad pushed it, and he defended himself, and he killed his dad. Then, in this multiverse room door area, whatever, I don't know what it's called, but whatever, in that area with the freaky, weird-ass alien that goes in and dump a dead animal carcass and goes back into his door, he ends up killing his other self, but he had no intention to kill his other self. He was trying to, like, hey, let me explain. Sorry, I didn't mean to, like, step into your role and fuck shit up. But yet that other guy was not listening. His other self was not listening. And in order to protect himself from not being killed himself, he ends up killing his other self. So, and I think this is where he doesn't know, maybe he doesn't realize his special trait is actually killing people.
Well,
that's his specialty.
Nobody wants to admit this, but there is nothing that creates peace more than death.
Right?
Crusades have proven this.
What is it? It's peace through strength.
Yes.
Which means that you have to be willing to kill or whatever, decimate your opponent. And because you're willing to decimate your opponent is held at bay, and therefore you have peace through strength. And he has that, really. I mean, that's why he's peace, whatever. This is. But in any case, I don't think he's necessarily wrong.
I don't think he's wrong either.
And I think if I was put in that position, I'd do it. I would do it too. I'd go to that other universe.
Yeah, because what ultimately ends up being wrong in that other universe, like, it's the other universe. They don't know what's wrong.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. So I can speak to it like in this sense. My dad left when I was super young. I think when by the time you and I became friends in high school, my dad was out of the picture. So if I wanted to have that relationship with my dad and he was in this other universe, that would be appealing to me. The person who I was engaged to at one point in time, we never got married, things fell apart, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Things are things, whatever. But if she was there and was there's that reciprocal type of like things didn't go bad or whatnot, and my dad was there, things were good, I would be very well tempted to go to that other universe. And
that's what I'm talking about.
Right? I mean, because the things that are like what I might consider holes in my life here are fulfilled there, but that is the quick release or quick enjoyment, or part of that instance of society where we want like that enjoyment now, and it would be very easy to overlook ramifications.
Instant gratification.
Yeah. I would say I'd be very tempted, and I probably would do what he did. As far as going to the other universe and wanting to go there to stay.
Yeah.
Now, you can answer if you would do the same thing or not. I think you probably would, but
like he has no kids to keep him on Earth. The woman he loves doesn't want him on Earth, but through the portal, the multidimensional portal, she wants him. Family, the only family he has is available in the multidimensional
say if you have kids in both of those universes.
Yeah, but the thing is where I was going with that is what he doesn't understand is he does have a handful, 4 friends. He literally has 4 friends and Eagly, which he takes with him so he doesn't miss out on Eagly. So he has 4 friends, one of which he's in love with and has told him that no, she has no feelings for him.
Which she really does.
Which she does. One of which is just like batshit crazy vigilante. One of which doesn't realize she just put up a prostitute ad in a gun magazine. And one of which is literally hunting him down for Argus, which he's trying to get away from. So, like, there are no ties to this world for him to go to a world where everything he wants, including fame, is available.
Yeah, very true. All right.
It'd be like, here's how I would literally look at it. He has a lottery ticket in his hand with enough money to solve all of his problems, and he can either cash it or flush it.
It doesn't solve all of his problems, though.
It could have.
Maybe.
It could have, had they not come to save him and fuck it all up.
Maybe.
Ultimately, he'd have fucked something up. But in that world, every time he killed somebody, he was a hero, not a villain.
True.
And that's what he's good at.
All right.
It's just messed up.
It is messed up. All right. So once he finds out that this world's not everything that it's cracked up to be, and that is now it's a
spoiler alert,
Nazi America. Is it wrong for him to stay or want to stay?
So here's where I go back again to say the prejudice had been done. He was in a world where he's not prejudiced, whether or not all these other people are. There aren't people to be prejudiced against. You could actually make the same argument of all of the Christians who are being slaughtered in Africa. Do the Africans not realize that are slaughtering all these Christians that that's wrong? Well, to their religion, they don't. So that's where it gets a little tricky. And that's a really ugly situation. But the truth of the matter is, if he's not having to be part of something that's in the past and he's happy to be in the present, he's not doing any evil by just participating without taking away from anyone.
I agree with you. Like, I'm not saying it's all right to be like to be a Nazi, right? I'm not saying that, but here's the thing: like, if you go to this other universe, and honestly, from what we see in this other universe, when we are seeing through Chris's eyes, all we are seeing is his love for his brother, his love for his dad, his love for the woman that he desires. We do not see any of this other peripheral type of stuff. And I guess if you're focusing on that stuff, and maybe at a later point in time, if he did actually move into that universe, and let's say his friends never come after him, and this is where it might be a possible lottery ticket, he would eventually find out that it was the Nazis who won World War II or whatever, and it's Nazi America. And I think he would, I don't know if this is a bad take or not, I think he probably would adapt just fine. He might miss his friend, his best friend, who's the black female. But I think overall, he probably would adapt just fine. Because here's the thing, like in the world that we live in, or the earth that he lives in, we view as Nazi Germany being the bad guys. But what if, I'm just saying, what if what we were told, what we learned from history was wrong, and actually maybe they were the good guys and the bad guys won?
Right. And yeah, we know that's not the case. Because of our history.
Do we, though?
Because of the history that we've learned, but they never learned that history.
No. And I think, and he, and everything he wants is there. He's a hero. He's all this stuff. So I think it'd be an easy transition for him, honestly. And
I don't disagree.
All right. Favorite episode.
All right, so this is definitely Ignorance's Chris. So this is the episode. It's episode 14 where Peacemaker is in his dimensional portal, different world, and his friends come to save him. Number one friend being the actress Jennifer Holland, Hardcourt, and she goes to save him. Almost gets busted. Chaos ensues. But the whole time she's there. But this is my point again when I talk about like he was looking for the happy and that's what he found. What does Hardcourt want? Hardcourt wants friction. She wants drama. She wants trouble. She wants problems.
Which Hardcourt?
The Hardcourt from Earth.
Okay. From his Earth.
From our Earth.
We don't know. We don't necessarily it's our Earth.
I'm guessing it's our Earth, but Hardcourt is very quick to be like, why are there no colored people here? Why is there a picture of Hitler on the wall? Why does the American flag have a swastika on it instead of 50 stars?
Well, I think she's just more naturally into her environment around her.
Yes and no. What I will say is you and I both know this. If we are happy and we go to a place that we want to be, we will find happiness. If you and I are miserable and we go to a place we don't want to be, we will find reasons to be miserable. Not only is she very much more observant than Peacemaker, Chris, but she is also looking for reasons not to be there, to get out, danger. And that is the thing is she's got, women have stronger, more developed prefrontal cortexes. The serotonin's 52% more than the average man. She's got all these things built in. I'm assuming hers are even more hypersensitized. And she's like, problem, danger, danger, danger. Whereas Chris is like, love you, Dad. Love you, bro. Love you, lady. Eagly.
Here's another question, though. Do you think, because the Hardcourt there versus the Hardcourt that he's from, they are two different ladies?
This is what I'm saying is...
And I think...
The Hardcourt there, I don't love. The Hardcourt in his original planet, I love that character, and she's an idiot. Like, don't go start fights. Like,
she's an idiot. She knows she's an idiot too,
but she's also a badass.
Yes, and that's the thing. I think eventually Chris would have realized that Hardcourt, even though he went to that dimension because she likes him, because she thinks he's that other Chris, that it would have failed. And he would have been miserable later on down the line because they are technically really two different people.
They are totally two different people. But here's the thing about Peacemaker, about Chris, is he's simple. He's good at his job, but he's simple.
I was about to say he's a simpleton. But
with that comes this piece of he's emotional. And he is very much an alpha physically and a beta mentally. And I think he would have followed her right into the grave and been totally happy.
It's a possibility.
Me, I know this about me. She would never really challenge him. She would ask, like, I need your commitment. That's not a challenge.
Well, see, and I think that's part of, like, being the Nazi America is, like, women have their own, like... The way the Nazis had females, they had their own defined rules, and And like I could see him accepting it, going with it, but at the same time, I can see him be like, I fucked up because this is not the hardcore that I fell in love with. It seems fine up front, but I think later on down the line, that's things play out, and that initial like glee or joy or whatever fades. I think that's where the issue will come into play.
I think here's a good transition and tangent into one of the great things about this show, season 1 and season 2 even more than season 1, is that it brings to front a lot of adult themes in real life. Like, this is not stuff an adult will not face. You've got somebody who thinks they're your best friend, and you are just there with them. And this is Vigilante. Vigilante literally thinks Peacemaker is his best friend. Peacemaker's like, yeah, he's just fun to hang around. Vice versa, you have a best friend who's trying to start her business, and she doesn't realize that she's actually like how much she actually means. Then there's the people you love that don't love you, or vice versa, or that do love you but just aren't ready. Timing can be so significant. All of these pieces, and then also having to remove yourself. This is where I'm going to give Peacemaker even more credit. Ultimately, they chased him. That was their choice. They did it. But at a point where he had to make a decision, I give him credit in any relationship. If one person removes himself, the other person absolutely has a choice to decide, do I chase you or do I not? And they chose to chase him. There, more than anything, shows the love. He could have still rejected him. They could have kept on chasing. At some point, they also have to be adults, if that's the case, and move on. But it brought up a ton of themes that are real about toxic. And this is where masculinity does become toxic. What the hell is he doing with all those drugs and an orgy? He's not even participating, it appeared anyway. But nonetheless, well, in the orgy. But nonetheless, like, what are you doing? Like, get it together, man. And that is where...
Well, when you have, like, the woman that you profess your love to shooting you down in every fucking possible way...
I'm not saying it's wrong.
You got a retarded guy...
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's not right.
Like, supposedly, like... some guy who thinks you're his best friend, but you're kind of like, dude, you're, like, a little much. Get away.
You've been touched.
Right? But this guy, like, fucking loves you. Is like trying to hump your leg the whole time. And you're like, dude, stay the fuck back. You're cool. I like you. But, like, stay the fuck back. And then your best friend is, like, whatever. Like, all in her or his, whatever.
Dealing with their own drama.
Doing their own drama. Because, like, they just had a relationship that fell apart.
Yeah.
And then the guy that you pretty much say you don't like, but you've somewhere along the way found common ground, and you guys are kind of bros, but not really true bros. Yeah, I mean, like,
it's all real life.
It is all real life. Like there's nothing there that says like there's nothing that everyone hates you pretty much. That you see, like your supposed friends aren't there. Like they don't appear to be there for you. I mean, I think emotionally that they are there for them if they knew that he really needed them. But externally, they're not there. And then everyone else, as far as he perceives, as far as the rest of the world perceives, hates him. And ultimately, why wouldn't you just go and like pursue a destructive means to destroy your life?
Right. And again, that's where it becomes. That's when I say toxic masculinity. That's what males do. That's toxic. Women may too. But my point being here is, and I love that you brought this up. This is brilliant.
What did I just bring up?
The point of the fact that he needs people, he needs an emotional tie, and everyone's doing their own thing, and they don't realize he needs attention or love or this or that and the other. And the truth of the matter is, the reason for that is because he is this male that is so strong, that always shows up, that never misses the day at work, that always does 100% to get the job done. And if he doesn't get the job done, it wasn't possible. He is the one who always does that. And he is the strong man. And this is, again, another piece of real world, is that whether it's wives or girlfriends or friends or whatever, people don't always understand that the guy who never misses a day at work, that the guy who always kills himself, that will go get a job done sweating when everyone else is calling out sick or doing their own thing or not being 100%, the guy who always is 100% also needs some goddamn affirmation and love. He also needs the 2 minutes of, and you're a prime example of someone who did this. You're like, Jesse, man, I saw you work out 3 times yesterday. Good fucking job. Thank you. Again, but strongmen, the Arnold Schwarzeneggers, the alphas, if you will, and I don't even know that they're alphas. I think more so they're sigmas. The people who can do anything don't get the appreciation because everyone's like, that guy's fucking strong. He doesn't need any love.
Well, here's another thing. I guess if we're talking about like this whole thing too, is that a lot of times, and maybe this is with older generations than it is newer generations. I could be totally wrong, but a lot of times, at least as far as like my own experience, and maybe other men that I know, roughly the same age, when asked, "Is there anything wrong?" I say no. I don't want to be a burden on other people, so it's very rare that I will say, I'm faltering, I'm failing, I need help. It's an extreme rarity and almost non-existent. Even if I'm hurting inside or whatever, as a male, that is not our role. We do not.
You're not wrong. No, that's what I mean.
We do not share that we are vulnerable.
No,
we have to show that we are a rock to our friends, to our family, to our coworkers. A male shows that they are a rock. I mean, that's just the way I was raised. But you know what? The thing is, we are not rocks. And yet, you know, and like this has been kind of a learning experience for me. Like with where I work, I have a millennial female boss, if you will.
She seems like she's got a great life, though.
Oh yeah, she has a pretty good life. Her husband is a police officer.
Dude, that's got to be like how safe do you feel as a woman when you know your husband's a police officer?
But yeah, you can tell like there's still like that generational difference. And she's always like, what do you need? Do you need help with this? And then she's always saying like, you never come to me and ask for help. And she's like, I know you need help with something. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for Sydney Sweeney to return my calls. God damn it. Can you help me with that?
But that's the thing is like, whatever, like if they say like you need to have this done, I'll sometimes like you've seen this, I'll pull an all-nighter to pull something off.
Yeah, you won't only pull an all-nighter, you'll like sleep for 20 minutes and pull a 2-dayer.
But the thing is like but what like they ask for like, how can we help you? Like, what do you need help with? And I'm like, nothing, right? And part of that maybe is because of our generation, the way we were programmed. I'm not sure how you think. I mean, maybe it's part of being Gen X. Maybe it's part of being a male and being a Gen X. I don't know. But I think most Gen X and males, we are not supposed to show that we are vulnerable, and we are supposed to show that we are rock and we're dependable.
I think that it's a little bit from every bucket, and then I'm going to throw in a couple other buckets too.
Sure.
I think one thing.
This is going way down a different road.
Dude, I know. But I think one thing also, and this is where it gets super interesting with the buckets, is there's this other bucket where not that your father has been there your whole life, but he was there.
He was there. He instilled what I needed to be instilled as far as being a male.
So you have a father figure. You have, and we both know this. Like, I spend a ton of time with her, call her mom sometimes myself. But you have a strong mother figure. I have those same things too. But beyond that, now you have a sibling. I have siblings. Whether or not, and I know you love yours, and we know how I feel like love-hate with mine.
Doesn't everyone have love-hate with their siblings?
Right, you probably do. Well, I know you do at times too, but there's this love-hate thing but you have siblings. So now here's the other piece. You're a provider of one thing or another. If from our generation, you call yourself a man, first of all. That can be food, it can be shelter, it can be safety. If you're strong, it can be all of the above. And we try to do all of those. We don't always get all of them. We need help. But then you bring in the different buckets of, there's influences from history. What were your parents? What were their professions? What were the different pieces? Where did you have to step in? Is there a religious factor? Is there a political factor? And then, and this is where it gets tricky, because I want to bring up current illegals and politics and a million different things, because it spells it all out, how certain people will be happy to take advantage of all of those situations. But you and I still are sitting here, as is my dad, and I know your dad was too, from what you have shared. We all have our own demons. I'm sure he had his. I know I have mine. And
everyone has a demon.
Dude, we all have demons. And with all of that, there's this piece, though, where we still try to be strong. And I can tell you one of the reasons that and I'm not sure if this is where you fall as well, but one of the reasons so often when people ask me if I need help and I say no is because I'm looking around and I'm like, I do need help, but I am the last one in line. There are 8 other people around me who need help so much more.
Well, that's also part of it. I mean, it really truly is part of it too. Is like what I might need help with, I view as being more minuscule than what maybe somebody else needs help with.
Yeah.
And therefore, I'll put my help on the back burner compared to other people.
Yeah,
I'm assuming that's what you mean by that.
That's 100% what I mean. It's like, yeah, I want help. I need help from everyone in this building.
And so this is kind of an interesting point too, because I think, if I understand this correctly, your father is from a military background.
Yes, he had time in the military.
I'm not going to say what branch, but he was in the military.
Yes.
My dad was in the military.
Yes.
And my grandfather was in the military.
Yes. Also.
So, there is a distinct, there is a...
well, and that's the other piece, a military background structured. Where I will say...
I was I'm like the first in my dad's lineage, I guess, not in the military.
Dude, you and I have talked about that. It may not be too late.
I probably, if I were to go back in time, maybe I probably would have gone into the military. I think I probably would if I go back in time.
I would have 100% gone to Annapolis. I would have sought that congressional
because I definitely the way I love guns now. I definitely would be like,
not just the guns.
Oh, totally the guns.
No, that's a big piece of it, maybe. But let's face it. Here's the other piece, and this is where it gets tough.
What does that say about us? We don't play.
We don't play. But here's the other piece about us. Whether it was our mother's side or our father's side or both sides, all of this, we have strong, and we've talked about this countless times, you and I, usually not on camera fully, but we have these very strong codes, and they are super similar, but they do have variances, and everyone should. You always have to be true to yourself. But that's what it really instilled in us was these codes. And I think that's why if you and I look back, and I remember when I was like, yeah, I'm not going to join the Navy. And I was asked the ultimate reason why. The reason I went to Colorado School of Mines as opposed to like considering joining the Navy was because I don't want to sit in my bed every day. Literally, that was my reason.
Here's a question. I could be slightly bit off. And maybe I am. Maybe my memory's slightly shot. But I felt like we went to like the Navy recruiting center at the same time.
Yeah.
Did we take the test at the same time?
Yes, and I tested into the freaking nuclear program, and you tested into, I don't remember exactly which program.
I think it was linguistics.
That's exactly, no, it was linguistics and I think European something or other.
Yeah. I just know it had to do with like with languages, and which kind of goes into intelligence.
What the fuck would we be now if we'd actually done it?
I don't know.
I have ideas in houses 20 times this size. Truly.
Anywho, but yeah, I remember us taking I thought that we took the test at the same time, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah, dude, I was just literally laughing because I'm like, oh, so if I want to join, you want to send me straight to your nuclear program, nuclear submarines in particular, by the way.
Yeah, you got I got like language and like I forget whatever. I think it was like political science.
That's what it was. Language and political science. Yes.
But yeah, that's
always
what like, yeah. And like that was like it was kind of interesting. So, but anyways, regardless, like whatever, we're totally off.
We have taken like 20 different tangents. We've headed different directions.
This is going into our old. We're going to our old time frames here. Bottom
42 hours later, I need to get some sleep.
All right. Let's I know we've veered away pretty far from Peacemaker 2. I guess sum it up. Your last word, and I'll give my last word.
Yes. Last words for me, very simply.
I guess favorite character, anything else you want to throw in, whatever last words you want to give, tie everything up that you want to like share about.
Peacemaker and Amelia Harcourt are tied for my favorite character. I want to say Vigilante, but the guy's just too simple in a different way. Simple Jack.
And maybe you say your favorite scene too, I guess.
Oh, yes. Okay, so let's go there. But these are my two favorite actors, and here's why. They are both needing each other so bad to tame their own sides. The truth of the matter is, Peacemaker, Chris Smith, is not the ultimate in toxic masculinity. It's actually Jennifer Holland, Amelia Harcourt, who has the extreme toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity, in other words, destructive behaviors. They will.
You guys say that quote? You guys have.
What quote was that? So in the first episode, Amelia Harcourt is being told by her psychologist, who's assessing her and telling her why she's never going to get back into any branch of the military, that she has an extreme case of toxic masculinity. And she's just like, you fucking cunt. And it's so hilarious because he's like, my God. He doesn't say that. You can see it on his face, though. And she's like, oh, cunt's a term of endearment in England. Anyway, I love the fact that they just brought it all for front face. That is a toxic masculine character, and it's played by a female, a super attractive female. Thank you, Jennifer Holland, for your role and your contribution in not just acting, but character and looks. Much like Cena, anyone would say about John Cena, guy's hot if I'm a chick, and I like guys. I don't. You're too big for me, John. Probably in every way. But with that, those are my two favorite characters. And the reason is because I think they show all of our, I want to say, religious faults, whether it's greed or pride, whether it's sloth, any of them. They are absolutely the two that show the potential for the most improvement. And I love that the show is so real character wise because I look at these people and I'm like, oh yeah, I was Chris Smith today. Jesse, get back to it. Or I was Amelia Harcourt today, and I need to like reel it back in. I'm not that great, or I need to be humbled, and that's a truth fact of life. One of my favorite scenes literally is in my favorite episode, which is that Chris episode where literally they're breaking out of Argus in the world, the other door, and Harcourt is literally pointing out scene after scene after scene after scene all the things that are wrong with this other world. And she's like, how did you not see this? He's like, oh yeah, how did I not see a 40-foot mural of Hitler on the wall? And it just brings up these beautiful questions of, again, like even myself, I go into work, and if I feel great and I want to do great, everything is great. Everything I see is good. Even the things that are bad can be turned into good. But when I am having one out of those 25 days, I'm just going to say that's probably a rough estimate. Let's say it's 1 out of 20. 1 out of every 2.5 weeks where I'm in a pissy mood and everything else, like everything I see is wrong. And I think this show exemplifies that. I love that. I love those characters. Yeah.
All right. I am going to go with Vigilante being my favorite character for this season. This season.
Episode 15.
I'm not sure which one is episode 15.
Oh, no, it's actually it's the same episode I love.
Is that where they meet each other?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Vigilante, I think what I really like most about his character in this season is that we learn more about him. Like, he's like such a goody mental giant.
Ignorance is Chris. They go to the universe to save him, and he finds his.
But
partner.
he busts like all these drug dealers and stuff like that. He has like a bunker full of money and drugs and stuff like that he's able to fund like their next venture as a private investigative service. And he's like totally clueless. He's like, I don't want to use any of that money because it's blood money or whatever. And then he goes into the other universe. He's like, oh, I want to go meet my other self. And they are like total, like, I don't know, idiots together. They're like instant best friends, and they're like total idiots. But it's great.
They're the only characters that's the same in both universes, so to speak.
Basically, I want to say it's like an innocent or maybe a childlike glee to them that makes his character enjoyable in this season.
It's ignorance. It's literally ignorance, and it's beautiful.
But my favorite scene is when Judo Master goes to save Abu Dhabi or whatever her name is, the black lady, and like fries all the people in the swimming pool, and then later on they go play Scrabble instead of Scrabble. And then also you just like learn actually how cool like Judo Master is. I think it's the same episode that you're talking about.
No, it literally is. It's ignorance is Chris, and like it was just such a phenomenal episode.
That was like the best episode ever. So that's like my favorite episode. Honestly, I think it was a great follow up to season 1. I actually enjoyed season 2 more than season 1.
I did too, but part of this, and it could be because of where I am in life and with everything else, I really did appreciate the writing, everything James Gunn did, everything the actors did in being both.
I hated the ending, but everything. I agree.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the ending either, but I love the characters' honesty and frailty at the same time. Strength.
All right, next week. What's our...
All right, we're going to go there. Next week, we are going to do Wednesday, season 2.
Oh, shit, I got to watch that. Okay.
Dude, it's totally quick. You're going to be totally fine. So Wednesday Addams comes back in Wednesday, season 2. We'll do a show and a review for that. It is fun.
All right. Sounds good. If you made it this far, thank you very much. We greatly appreciate all the viewers on YouTube and Rumble and all the listeners on the many different podcast platforms. Please let us, if you like our content, please like, share, and subscribe. But most importantly, let us know what you think about this Oban, if you've tried it. Or let us know what you think about Peacemaker Season 2. We'd love to hear your words and share that with us, and we would love to answer or discuss that with you, because we love to share our thoughts with you as well. With that, I am tossing the ball to Jesse to give us those finer points in life that we need to know before we close out this evening.
All right, life is great. That does not mean it's always going to be easy. And in fact, the difficult moments usually make the great moments that much better. Do not drink and drive. Do not drink and drive. Remember, drink responsibly. And the one other thing I want to put out there with Peacemaker, one of the things I think is really true is it really exemplifies the potential, the need, the reasoning for great friends and mentors. So if you don't have great friends, at least go seek a great mentor. And I can tell you right now, typically any given day, I can count the number of people I will call friend on one hand. Some days it's 4. Once in a while, it reaches that max of 5, but beyond that, it's not real. So find a great mentor. Find someone who will share with you ways you can improve, even when you think you're great, or ways you're great when you think you're a mess. That's right. Yeah. And don't put ads for female guns in gun magazines. All right, until next week when we review Wednesday, Season 2. Scotchman!
Cheers. We hope you enjoyed this evening's episode of Scotch Hour. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you have not done so already, please become a patron member, with memberships starting as low as $1 a month. Thank you, and hopefully you have a wonderful evening.